Mike Bohn here at the World MMA Awards with Coach Jason Parillo, nominated Coach of the Year, man. How's that feel?
It feels great. You know, I mean, it's amazing that the Fighters Only and the MMA Awards put this event on. It's cool to get appreciated for, this, it's cool to walk a red carpet, We come here out to Vegas, usually we're coming for fight week, right? Really at the end of the day, there's a lot of tension and the tension goes and it builds all week, and you get to the event, you have either a great experience or a shitty experience, and then, you go have a night here and you go home. This night is one big party, and it's exciting for me. I love it. I like the fact that we get a cocktail hour in about 20 minutes from now, and but it's great, having the being nominated for Coach of the Year obviously is it's a great honor. I mean, I've been nominated before in the past, you know what I mean? So I know what it felt like before. And at the end of the day, it's a great experience to be, sitting next to these great coaches that we have in the MMA world.
Where does past year stack up? I mean, obviously there's been a lot of good accomplishments. I'm sure in a way some of it just blends together over the years, but this past year, does it stand out as something that was kind of particularly memorable for you? Well,
the wins, I fortunately, especially through COVID and whatnot, there's a lot of fighting going on. I fortunately had consistent fighting going on with Mackenzie Dern and Chito Vera, and had some success obviously with both of them. I think that's obviously what put me in the position that I am in right now, and those moments were amazing. Winning. I'm not trying to be like I'm old school and an old dog, but I am I like to think that I'm as young as you, even younger, but I'm not. I've been doing this a long time. I mean, BJ Penn, I think, won his world title with me back in 08 or something like that, you know what I mean? So as far as, as far as how I feel about, as far as fight, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, just like the past year or so. I mean, does this kind of stand out?
As far as there we go. Sorry, as far as winning fights and losing fights, that's where I was at. Sorry. As far as winning fights and losing fights, it's almost it's the worst thing in the world, but it's a job now. And you start getting numb to the wins and suffering on every fucking loss. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
And I know you're a guy. I mean,
I lost my train of thought. I wish we could turn the camera.
There's a ring girl off camera here. That's what's going on. As you can see, she's kind of in the frame. But we know you're coaching.
No, come here real quick. Pop your head in here real quick.
We can see.
Hi.
There's Brooklyn. Just to try to get back on track.
I'm sitting there talking, and I'm like, I'm fucked up.
But you obviously, I know your approach, you're fairly limited on who you like to work with. You kind of pick and choose your shots and stuff. Can you just open up about the philosophy of why you take that approach, and you're not just one of the guys who maybe opens your doors to anyone in that sense?
I'm not going to necessarily say I open the door to everybody, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I happen to be over the last 12, 13 years now. My gym's private. It's a Ruka facility, and it's just such a different situation that I'm in. So I can't really be invited. Like I'm not in a position where I can invite anybody that comes in. Granted, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I know business-wise it's not the best thing in the world, but really I end up making my connections obviously via social media. Maybe that's how Chito Vera came to me. He was reaching out to me on social media. Unfortunately, it takes a long time for us to connect, in that way. I don't really pick and choose. For me, if you want to train with me, I'll train you. But it's tough because I say that, and it's difficult to be in the situation that I'm in, because I'm in the midst of right now, probably over the next year, opening up my own gym so I can be a little bit more open arm and draw more people in there. My problem with that is I see a lot of gyms with a lot of guys, and it's tough. It's tough because there's a lot of guys, and it's hard for me. Like if I had 3 or 4 guys on one card, it'd be tough for me because I put all my emotion, my energy into that fight, the fighters that I'm working with. I've had fighters with 2 or 3 fighters on the same card. It's not. My energy spread thin. I think energy is a very important thing in this whole fucking game. My energy as a coach is very important in what I put into. So I can't put 100% of my energy into you if I got Joe Blow over here fighting 2 later tonight. So and then Do I like one more than another? No. Usually when I like my fighters, I like them all equal, you know, at the end of the day, but I want to put all my energy into the one individual.
You're very respectful. And two fighters I want to ask you about, Mackenzie Dern, obviously tough loss for her, but one that I assume is going to be a great learning experience for her and her growth and everything. What was your biggest takeaway from her last fight, and what do you see as kind of her next step in her evolution?
I think that last fight was amazing for her. I love that you said that, and you're absolutely right, Mike. 'Cause you're a fucking true pro to this game. But it was a blessing in disguise. I think even in between rounds, when I was talking to her during that fight, I knew where we were at. I knew what was happening. I knew this was an experience for her more than an experience for me, because it's an experience that I've seen before, and I know that we're falling short. It is tough to get to where we need to go right in the middle of the fight. And I think I explained to her in the middle of the fight, I said, Mackenzie, we're learning the job right now. We're right in the middle of a learning experience. I'm just letting you know that now, and I know that she's 20 years old. She's got time. That's young for me, and especially in the division she's in. You know, she's got plenty of time. I expect really great things out of Mackenzie Dern. I think that last fight, for me, was a win in itself. Because since I've been with her, we've had, you know, we did one. I don't know if she went or did she go 5 rounds? No, she went 3 rounds. She had 1 3-round fight, and I think she submitted the other girls in a couple rounds, first rounds. You know, so I wasn't getting the experience that I need her to get on her feet. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Sure. Like, you got to fight in order to get that experience. We do in the gym. I got her in front of people all day in the gym, sparring all the time, and then we don't get that experience. And she got that experience with that girl. And she's in there with a high-level kickboxing girl, and I think that she doesn't realize how much that brought her to another level. Yeah.
And last one, Chito, obviously a phenomenal knockout of Frankie Edgar. That was unreal. Do you feel poised like 2022 is kind of going to be his year to be in the thick of that title conversation at bantamweight, which is just an insane division, insanely deep?
100%. I fucking love it. I love Chito Vera because Chito's still, see, when he knocked out Frankie Edgar's ranked number 8, right? He knocked Frankie Edgar, what does he move to? He moves to number 11. What the fuck? The guy that Frankie beat last, he's even ahead of him, and but that's okay. I like being in the shadows. I like that he's in the shadows, you know, because Chito Vera, I try to get him come out here, you know, for the sake. You know where he's out
to work.
He's working.
Yeah.
You know, that's what he does. I see the kid every fucking day of my life. The kid's a fucking workhorse. He's hungry. He's intelligent, and he knows his fucking sport more than all of us. You know what I mean? He can do your job. He knows everybody's fucking.
And he does in some ways.
Yeah, he does. But I really have very, very high hopes and confidence in Chito Vera.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate the time. I fully expect to see you again back here next year, because I'm assuming it's going to be another great year ahead, man. Enjoy the night and appreciate it.
I don't think about 2021, but hey, always good to see you, Mikey.